I will show the disassemble and assemble account. Before that, I will explain it first. What is disassemble? When referring to hardware, disassemble is the process of breaking down a device into separate parts. A device may be disassembled to help determine a problem, to replace a part, or to take the parts and use them in another device. The assembling of the computer system is exactly the opposite of disassembling operation. Computer assembly means a facility that is engaged in the assembly of computers and computer-related equipment, electronic equipment, and similar equipment from parts already manufactured. Make sure the system unit is turned off. Unplug or remove all cables connected to the system unit. Wear anti-static wrist strap or discharge yourself by holding any metal objects for 5 minutes. Connect anti-static wrist strap to the chassis. Untighten or remove the screws of the side cover of system case. Disconnect and remove all the cables connected to all components inside the system unit. Remove the ODD or CD-ROM. Remove the HDD. Untighten the screws mounted to the case, then carefully remove the HDD. Remove the power supply unit. Remove the motherboard and tighten the screws mounted to the case. Then carefully remove the motherboard. Unmount and unplug all the parts along the motherboard, including CPU heatsink fan, RAM, and video card. Mount all the parts along the motherboard, including CPU heatsink fan, RAM, and video card. Install the motherboard, tighten the screws mounted to the case. Install the power supply unit. Install the optical disk drive. Carefully install the HDD, tighten the screws mounted to the case. Connect all the cables to all components inside the system unit. Put the side cover back and tighten the screws. Connect all the cables to the system unit. Lastly, test the system unit if it's working well. The CPU or Central Processing Unit is the brain of the computer and one of the most important bits in the computer. Stands for heat sink and fan. Nearly all computers have heat sinks, which help keep the CPU cool and prevent it from overheating. Random access memory is a piece of hardware that allows stored data to be accessed randomly. Its main function is to store data temporarily. Video card is commonly known as graphics accelerator card. This is a hardware component whose main function is to generate and display the output image to a computer monitor. A motherboard connects and transmits signals to and from peripherals like your keyboard, mouse, and monitor. A power supply unit converts mains AC to low voltage regulated DC power for the internal components of a computer. Hard disk drive is also known as hard drive. This is the computer's main storage device to store all data on the computer permanently. Optical disk drive is a device that uses photodiodes to detect reflecting lights on object disk and uses a laser to read or write data. IDE to hook up disk drive, floppy disk, and HDD. This is a 40-pin male connector that connects the HDD. Now, the SATA connector, the standard connector with a 7-pin interface. A computer case, also known as computer chassis, tower, system unit, or cabinet, is the enclosure that contains most of the components of a personal computer.